Dear children, welcome to the second class on equivalent mass of the compounds. Last class we have discussed that all compounds in general can be classified into three: the one acids, base, and third are the salts. So, acids are the compounds which contain replaceable hydrogen atom. The replaceable hydrogen atom is the hydrogen atom present in the molecule of the acid which can be replaced by a metal atom. For example, hydrochloric acid has one HCl. So, if you treat with sodium, it forms NaCl and replace H. So, it has one replaceable hydrogen atom. If you come to sulfuric acid, if you put zinc, sulfuric acid plus zinc, it will form zinc sulphate plus 2H. It has two replaceable hydrogen atoms. So, the replaceable hydrogen atoms. So, we have defined equivalent mass. The equivalent mass is defined as the number of parts by mass of the element which can combine with 1.008 parts of hydrogen, 8 parts by mass of oxygen, 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine. So, one hydrogen atom is means one equivalent. So, here one equivalent mass of hydrochloric acid, the molecular mass is equivalent mass. When you come to sulfuric acid, it has two replaceable hydrogen atoms. It has two replaceable hydrogen atoms. So, molecular mass by 2. So, the replaceable hydrogen molecular mass at the equivalent mass of acid is equal to molecular mass of acid by number of replaceable hydrogen atoms. So, this number of replaceable hydrogen atoms, these called as basicity of the acid. This is also called as basicity of acid. So, we can say the equivalent mass of acid is equal to what? The molecular mass of acid by basicity of acid. This we have already discussed to determine the equivalent mass of acid. Now, let us come to next one, that is the equivalent mass of base. We will now go to equivalent mass of base. So, before going to base, so what is a base? The bases are the compounds. Bases are the oxides and hydroxides, of metals. So, metal oxides and metal hydroxides, they are called bases. So, if our M is the metal oxide is a base, and if M is a metal, the metal hydroxide is a base. So, the general formula will come as the metal hydroxide and metal oxide. So, the metal oxides and metal hydroxides they are called as bases. So, we can say that the basic character of the base is because of the presence of the hydroxide ion. The hydroxide ion is the reason of this basic character. So, the oxide and hydroxides of metals are called as bases. Let me give an example. So, example you can take. So, this sodium hydroxide is a base and sodium oxide is also base. calcium hydroxide is a base, so also calcium oxide is a base. So these are the bases, or you can take aluminum hydroxide is a base and aluminum oxide is a base also. So then bases, so equivalent mass of a base, equivalent mass of base is equal to the molecular mass of base, molecular mass of base by acidity of the base, acidity of base. So this acidity of base is what? Is the number of equivalents, of acids are required to neutralize a molecule of the base, So that is called acidity. So who neutralizes? Now we have an acid. So suppose you have an acid, say hydrochloric acid. It reacts with sodium hydroxide, the base. Sodium hydroxide is the base. Hydrochloric acid is the acid. So this will form, so here hydrogen is plus, chloride is minus, sodium is plus, OH is minus. So this plus will react with minus and this plus will react with minus. So the hydrogen will come to OH, chlorine will come to sodium. So this will form sodium chloride and water. So that means who is reacting? Now hydrogen, the acid is giving H plus and base is giving OH minus. They react to form water, and this water is neutral. The water is neutral. So this reaction is called neutralization reaction. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. So the acidity of sodium hydroxide is equal to 1, basicity of HCl is 1. So it required, acid requires one base, base requires one acid. So acidity of sodium hydroxide is 1. So here the molecular mass, the equivalent mass of sodium hydroxide will be equal to molecular mass by 1. So that is sodium atomic mass is 23, oxygen 16, hydrogen 1 by 1, that comes to 40. So this comes to 40, and so equivalent mass of sodium hydroxide is 40. So this is the way, or very simple way we can say. So we can say that for beginners, those who are starting their career, for them we can say that it is equivalent mass of base is equal to molecular mass by number of OH groups present. OH groups present. So if you come to now equivalent mass of calcium hydroxide, equivalent mass of calcium hydroxide. So we can say that calcium, the molecular mass by 2. So the atomic mass of calcium is 40, and it is 16 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 into 2 by 2, this come to 20, 37, this will come to 37. So the equivalent molecular equal mass of calcium hydroxide will be 37. So very easy to find out how many OH groups are present. One OH group is present, acidity is 1. 2 OH groups are present, acidity 2. 3 OH groups are present, acidity is 3. So if you come to equivalent mass of aluminum hydroxide, equivalent mass of aluminum hydroxide will be what? Molecular mass. How many replaceable OH groups are here? 3. 3 OH groups are here. So molecular mass will be 3. So we say here atomic mass of aluminum is 27 plus 3 into 16 plus 1, that's 17 by this by 3. So this is 9 plus 17, 26. If you divide by 3, this comes to 9. If you divide by 16, 17 plus this comes to 26. So equivalent mass of aluminum hydroxide is 26. Now let us come to equivalent mass of a salt. Equivalent mass of salt. Equivalent mass of a salt. So what is a salt? So when an acid reacts with a base to undergo neutralization, to form a salt, One acid is reacting with base to form a, so we take acid and we add base, they form a salt. So if a general formula of an acid is say M, it must contain a hydrogen. Suppose general formula of an acid is HX, and this comes is form a base is MOH. M is the metal hydroxide is the base. What is the base? Base is metal hydroxides are bases. So here HX there is the acid, so base MOH. So here H is plus, X is minus, M is plus, OH is minus. So this will form MX, and this forms water. So this is our salt. So this salt is neutral, hence the reaction is called neutralization. This reaction is called neutralization. So then what will be the equivalent mass? So equivalent mass of a salt, equivalent mass of a salt is equal to molecular mass of salt by the valence, the charge of the cation, of the salt. So charge of the, here the cation is who? M is the cation, positive ion. Cation means positive ion. So positive ion, it has a positive ion, and that positive, suppose we take, just I am to give you an example here. Say we take HCl is the acid, we are treating with sodium hydroxide. This undergoes neutralization to form sodium chloride, the salt, and water. So this is salt. So its equivalent mass, so it is the cation. Who? Sodium is the cation, this is plus, and chloride is the anion, this minus. So this sodium is cation. What is the charge on the cation? Plus 1. So its equivalent mass of sodium chloride will be molecular mass by 1. So equivalent mass of sodium is 23 and chlorine is 35.5. So if you add, you get this. So 58.5. So that is the equivalent mass of sodium chloride. So very easy, that is just to very easily you can say equivalent mass of a salt is what? The molecular mass by the valency of cation. Suppose it a equivalent mass of sodium carbonate, equivalent mass of sodium carbonate, equivalent mass of sodium carbonate will be what? Molecular mass of sodium carbonate by, so what is the cation here? Sodium. Cation means positive ion. Positive ion is sodium plus 1. 2 ions are there, so it is 2 by 2. So this is a plus 1 into 2, so by 2. So molecular mass will be 2. So here sodium is 23 into 2 plus carbon is 12 plus oxygen 3 into 16. So this is carbonate and is by 2. This comes to 53. This is 106. If you multiply, this will get 106. 106 by 3, 2, it will give the 53. Or if you come to calcium, equivalent mass of calcium carbonate and the salt, equivalent mass of calcium carbonate. So what will this? So here molecular mass of calcium carbonate by 2. Why? Now the valency of calcium plus 2 and this is minus 2. So molecular mass by 2. So equivalent molecular mass of calcium will be what? 40. Atomic mass of calcium is 40 and atomic mass of carbon is 12 and oxygen is 3 into 16. You have by 2. So this is 100 by 2. This comes to 50. So anywhere you go, you can very easily find out equivalent mass of an acid, equivalent mass of a base and equivalent mass of a salt. Now how will determine the equivalent mass of the atom of an element? Now this is the what we have gone to atom, we got to ion, we got to acid, we gone to base, we gone to salt. Now we will come to determination of equivalent mass of an element. So determination of equivalent mass of an element. So the equivalent mass of an element can be determined by the following different methods. By the following different methods. So what is this? Now what is look at the definition. What is the equivalent mass? The equivalent mass is defined as the number of parts by mass of the element, which combine with or displace 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen or 8 parts by mass of oxygen or 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine. That means, we can use hydrogen and determine, we can use oxygen, determine, and we can use the chlorine involved and determine. So, when you look at the definition, so automatically the methods we can adapt can come to our mind. So, first is hydrogen, displace hydrogen. So, first method, if you come to determination, the first method is hydrogen displacement method. Hydrogen displacement method. So, what is this? We will take the compound, allow to react with metal, find out how much hydrogen, volume of hydrogen came, then find out the weight of hydrogen came. So, this weight of hydrogen was replaced by this much of metal. So, 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen will be displaced by how much of metal, that will be the equivalent mass. We will come how to do it, we will do 2-3 examples, so you can understand by hydrogen displacement method. Second, oxide, 8 parts by mass of oxygen. So, direct formation of oxide method. Then third, indirect formation of oxide method. Indirect formation of oxide method. Then 4, by the metal formation of metal halide method. We will allow the element combine with halogen, metal chloride, you can say metal chloride method. We will allow the to react with the chlorine and find out this. Then fifth, double decomposition method. Double decomposition method. And then when this was the primitive methods. At that time, I told you the electricity was discovered in the year 1827. Atom was, definition of atom came in 1803, and a molecule of definition came towards 1807. So, at that time the science was developing, but the electricity was discovered in the year 1827. Then application of electricity came to 1831. Then they slowly came. So, then electrolysis came towards 1830. The electrolysis came by the Faraday, Michael Faraday. He discovered electrolysis. So, he thought the substances when react will react by their equivalences, chemical equivalences. So, when the electrolysis also take place, that will go also by equivalences. So, then he determined this by second law of this Faraday's, from second law electrolysis from Faraday's electrolysis method. So many methods are there. Or we can determine the atomic mass and then divide it by valency, then also you can determine. So, these are the different methods that are used to determine the equivalent mass of a metal. In your syllabus, you do not have the experiments to conduct, you have the application. Taking these methods, different numericals will come and the questions will come to a numerical. For example, in a question will come, I am just giving an example, suppose you will say that a metal M displaced 224 cc of hydrogen at NTP. A divalent metal displaced 224 cc of hydrogen at NTP. The atomic mass of the metal will be 24, 12, 30, none of the above. Question will be there. So, this question comes from your equivalent mass then atomic mass. Or he will say that a metal reacted with oxygen and formed an oxide which contains 40% of oxygen. The equivalent mass of the metal would be, he will give 3-4 possibilities. We have to take off which one this is. So, this can be very easily done only when you understand the what is equivalent mass, what is molecular mass, what is atomic mass. All these things if we understand, then we can, from the definitions we can, come to conclusion. So, for that reason what I am telling you children, whatever I am doing on the board, today you are reading it, you are copying it down now, boards it is available on the board. In the night you sit down and prepare your note and read the book, take your note, again prepare your note and write 2-3 times. Whenever you are having a question or doubt anywhere, you just our WhatsApp number, then give your question in the WhatsApp number. Next class when I will come, I look to the WhatsApp, I have the question, I will be teaching my class accordingly to clear your doubts. All the doubts that you can have, you can clear your doubts. Don't keep any doubt because you are the beginners. You are learning. You are now learning line by line, word by word we are teaching you. Whenever you are having a doubt, you are able to ask and you put the question to us. You give the question to us, we will definitely explain you the answer. Only thing that you have to go on clearing your doubts. Now, let me go by one method. I am going to this. So, what is this method? In the hydrogen displacement method, I am talking first hydrogen displacement metal. A metal is taken, those metals which are above hydrogen in the electrochemical series, their equivalent mass can be determined by hydrogen displacement method. We can determine the equivalent mass of those metals which can displace hydrogen from acids. Which metals can displace hydrogen from the acids? Those metals which are more electropositive, they can displace hydrogen from the acid. For example, magnesium, zinc, these metals are highly electropositive. Calcium, they can displace the hydrogen from the acid. Very easily they displace, they quantitatively they determine the hydrogen. So, we will collect the hydrogen gas at the normal temperature, at the room temperature and pressure. Then we will know the volume of hydrogen at NTP, we will know. So, from volume, by calculating volume of hydrogen at NTP, then we can know the mass of hydrogen we can calculate. So, number of parts by mass of hydrogen metal which displace the 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen will be the equivalent mass of the metal can be calculated. So, what is the principle we will use? I am just talking the principle, I am not going to do the experiment, because when you will come to the college and we will teach you in the class, then you will conduct the experiment and explain you. So, what is then? Those metals which are above hydrogen in the electrochemical series, and displace and quantitatively displace hydrogen from dilute acids, their equivalent mass equivalent mass can be determined by this method, can be determined by this method. So, those metals which are have a hydrogen in the electrochemical series, quantitatively, that means it should be completely react and the quantity of hydrogen it will displace. How done? How it can be done? We will take the metal. Suppose we take example magnesium. We will react with dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid, we will allow to react to dilute sulfuric acid. So, this will react to form magnesium sulfate and hydrogen. Hydrogen gas will come out. Now, this hydrogen gas which came out, which is released, this is released, we will collect this hydrogen. This hydrogen gas is collected by downward displacement of water, and we know the volume of hydrogen, and from the volume of hydrogen we can know the volume of hydrogen at NTP, and we know gram molecular mass, gram molar volume. There by that we can know the weight of hydrogen displaced, and there 1.008 parts how much metal required, that will be the equivalent mass of the metal this. So, this is the way we use. So, we get this volume we get, we will convert it to NTP, normal temperature and pressure. We will calculate, we will get it by the combined gas law equation, and from there we can know the mass of hydrogen, and from there we can know the equivalent mass of the hydrogen. So, what is done? An exactly weighed amount of metal. What is the principle? An exactly weighed amount of metal is allowed to react, with dilute sulfuric acid, and the volume of hydrogen displaced, the volume of hydrogen that is V, say, displaced at room temperature and pressure, at room temperature and pressure is collected. So, we know the volume of hydrogen displaced and NTP is collected. Then what is done? So, the volume of hydrogen displaced can be calculated, from combined gas law equation. We will read combined gas law equation. Hence, the mass of hydrogen displaced at NTP can be calculated. So, the mass of the weight of hydrogen displaced by the metal can be calculated. What? By mass, by volume is density. So, the volume into mass volume and density will be how? So, mass is equal to what? Volume into density. So, we know the density of hydrogen is 0.089 grams and we know the volume, multiply this, we know the mass of hydrogen displaced. Therefore, the volume of, therefore, the number of parts by mass of metal which can displace 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen is the equivalent mass can be known. So, this is the way how it is done. So, I gave the example, we will take the metal, allow to react with the acid, find out the volume of hydrogen, then multiply it by, then get it at 10 Tp, then multiply that by density, you will get the weight of hydrogen. So, this weight of hydrogen is displaced this, so how much is this? So, this is the way you can calculate, determine the equivalent mass of a metal by hydrogen displacement method. The second principle is direct oxide formation method. I will do the numericals basing on this direct oxide formation method. This is a very easy method and very useful method. Almost all metals, because all metals will not displace hydrogen. If you take copper will not displace hydrogen. If you take manganese, it will not displace hydrogen quantitatively. So, these metals cannot displace. If you take iron also, quantitatively it will not determine, but zinc can determine, magnesium can determine. Then what about this copper? How you can copper will do? We cannot do by the hydrogen displacement method. So, we go by whom? By direct oxide formation of method. So, what is this? Now, metals react with oxygen to form their oxide. This we know. That means what? When you take a metal, allow to react oxygen, this forms metallic oxide. This is a metal oxide. This is a metal, will allow to react with oxygen. This will form what? MO is what? Metallic oxide. So, we'll suppose you know the weight of metal. Suppose the weight of metal is W1. Weight of metal is how much? W1, and weight of metal oxide is W2. So, from W2 minus W1 we can know the weight of oxygen. So, W2 W1 gram of oxygen combined with W1 gram of metal. So, 8 parts by mass of hydrogen can be combined with how much? So, that can be given us. So, what is done? What is the method? An exactly weighed amount of metal is allowed to react completely with oxygen to form metal oxide, and the weight of metal oxide formed determined accurately. So, the weight of oxygen reacted with the metal can be known. Hence, the number of parts by mass of the metal which combine with 8 parts by mass of oxygen is the equivalent mass can be known. So, this principle, if I write what will I write? I will say that an exactly weighed amount of metal, say I am setting W1, is allowed to react completely with oxygen to form metal oxide, the weight of the exact accurate weight of metal oxide, that is how much, W2, is determined. So the weight of oxygen combined will be how much? W2 minus W1 can be calculated. We can know this. Hence number of parts by mass of the metal, which react with 8 parts by mass of oxygen is the equivalent mass, can be calculated. You are doing this. So just I am doing it, I am writing it very easily to make it more easy. So what I did, weight of metal taken is W1 gram से, weight of oxide formed is W2 gram. So weight of oxygen reacted will be equal to W2 minus W1. Now this is reacting with this one, so we'll say W2 minus W1 parts by mass of oxygen is reacting with W1 gram of metal. Therefore, number of parts of metal which react with 8 parts mass of oxygen is the equivalent mass. So then what we will do, we will say that W2 W1 gram of W2 minus W1 gram of oxygen react with W1 gram of metal. Therefore, 8 parts by mass of oxygen by parts by mass of oxygen would react with how much? Will be equal to W1 by W2 minus W1 into 8. That is the equivalent mass. So equivalent mass. So what is W1? So then what is the formula? Now equivalent mass of metal, equivalent mass of metal So we know that W2, W1 gram of oxygen react with W1 gram of metal. So 8 parts by mass of oxygen would react with how much? W1 by W2 minus W1 into 8. So what is W1? So equivalent mass of metal is equal to what? Weight of metal. W1 is what? Weight of metal. What is W2 minus W1? Weight of oxygen. Weight of oxygen reacted. Weight of oxygen reacted multiplied by 8. So this is a formula which we will be using in many number of problems. We will do many numericals. Basing on this formula, there will be a number of numericals which you will get in your entrance exam. So children, next class we will discuss the other methods, double decomposition method, formation of metal halide method and other things. But I would like to appeal you that whatever I am teaching you, right from the atomic mass, molecular mass, mole concept, Avogadro's law, Avogadro's number, applications of mole concept, then come to definition of equivalent mass and equivalent mass of metal, acid, base, salt, then come to determination. You read it, and any doubt if you have, passage on the question, we will answer it, and next class we will be completing this and also do some numericals and basing on these topics. Thank you very much for your patient listening to the lecture.